Today, I got a deck battle between my Universe 7 Gohan, and then I'm playing just a normal Dr. Uiro deck, or however you say it. Just kind of a fun matchup. I didn't want to play too try-hard. I didn't want to use any of my competitive decks. This is actually probably my favorite leader. I really like the comboing off the cards to draw, and Gohan's probably my favorite character, so this leader's just like all-in-one for me. I am just playing on Untap. It's just the easiest site to use. I used to use Octagon, but I don't know, it just like messed up on my laptop, and now I just stick to Untap. So right now I'm just gonna mulligan. We're gonna set up the game. This deck, it got a little more competitive with the new 3-drop Friezas that you can play from your drop area for a 3, but it wasn't really like the extra push the deck needed. Same with the blue Master Roshis, since you can negate with them and they're blue, so you can still use Sensubi and stuff. More setup, just waiting for my opponent to set up. I'm reading what he does. If you guys don't know what these cards do, you can pause and read what they say. I try and go over like every card because I actually never played against Uiro. Also, all I know is they play really defensive, and then they just went off the leader effect of having the 17 cards under him. He is taking a little long to set up, but it's okay. So my opening hand's pretty strong. The super combo, kind of wish I didn't have that. Maybe like another green card or something like that. So turn 2 I can have 1 blue and 1 green. But it's definitely not the worst hand. I do go first on this. I rolled a 5, and then I think he rolled like a 4 or something. Especially with the 18s. Usually you don't like to stall out with this deck, but if you can turn 1 charge, pass, and then when they just swing with leader, you combo 18, and then you already have two attacks ready for turn 2. And then turn 3, 3 attacks on turn 2 if you have like a newfound power or something like that. Alright, finally set up. Just gotta wait for him to pass. Had to compliment him on his profile picture, you know. Yu Yu Hakusho's, that's where it's at. Gonna charge, just at all costs. Definitely too early to play him. I got other Self-Awakening cards in the deck. And I read that his leader has to swing 2-way leader for his effect to go off for top 7 to try and get a card. So decks like that, you can just guarantee you're going to be taking damage, because usually they're not going to not attack and then lose card advantage. So you don't really have to hold on to your Self-Awakening too much. Just reading that card, like I said, I don't really know what any of these guys do. I'm hoping in the new sets coming up, they can release something. I don't know what else the deck really needs, but just something else. Maybe, actually, I don't know. Things you could add is like the Android 17, the 2-drop critical. He's pretty strong. That blocker actually is really strong in the deck. He's basically like the Universe 9 blocker from the Tournament of Power set, where basically you have to swing onto him twice. He attacks my leader, just gonna combo that out, because I'm gonna draw 2 next turn, so I don't really mind. Plus an extra 1 off of the 1-drop Goku ready to fight. That card's really good. I usually try and mulligan hard for him to make sure I get him. Having the Roshi isn't bad to play him for 1, but kind of want to add another Roshi or something, because now you do have the blue and yellow one, so you can run multiple. I was going to pass it. Good draw for my turn. Right here, I knew he plays a lot of blockers, so I wasn't really worried about keeping Sensubi for defense. So I kept the 1 unyielding in order, if I'm trying to go hard for game, I can untap and then go further with my plays. Gonna grab the Master Roshi. I need him. Can't play the Goku until turn 5. And it's kind of, some people still don't know about that card, so it's good to sneak up on them and use that card on them to finish games, being a triple strike, and they can't negate. Swinging into the leader, just gonna do obvious combo, draw 2. Getting another Goku, which is always good. Just having them to use every turn for the effect is really strong, because you're not minusing, because you play out the Goku for the 1, you plus off him, and then you combo and then get 2 more cards. Gonna swing with the 18. I'm gonna try and go pretty aggro because I know once he starts playing out the bigger frenzied warrior cards or whatever they are, when they start throwing like a bunch under the field card, that's gonna be pretty gross, and I really don't want to auto lose off that effect. So set 8 so far. Obviously main decks right now, Baby and Tricolor Broly. I'm really thinking about trying to make a red, I think just like a mono red or a red blue Kid Ku deck with Chain Zeno, because of how people are running less hard on counterplays. Obviously they're still going to be there, but if you can play around them with Kid Ku, especially with Kid Ku Awakening at 6, and then you doing that, maybe turn 1 Intense, have them hit you, swing with Intense, your second turn go down to 6 life, drop a vanilla card so you can awaken, because you're gonna shuffle and then pay 2 and then Chain Zeno, and then you're at a 15k leader with 6 health, and then you just did 3 damage, 4 damage, something like that, which I think could work. Obviously Kiku's just always strong, but that deck specifically with the Chain Zeno early game would be strong, since you obviously awaken so early. Trying to see what he plays out now. Just normal 16 to charge to ramp up, because I was reading his leader and I was trying to go extra aggro at him, because I know at 4 energy he just right away can awaken, or if he's at 3 or less life. So I was trying to get him down to 3 life so he didn't really gain any extra value off his leader awaken. He's going to swing into me. I'm going to start taking the damage now. I don't want to stall him out too much. I could have played Roshi for 1 and then had him up and set 8 life, but once he gets to the later turn and he has his field of blockers and like the Uiro extra card is about to auto win the game, I don't really want to have so much life left. So he's going to grab the super combo off his leader swing. I get the frenzied warrior thing, but I just think Paragus is just so much stronger. Even though like the frenzied warrior goes with the deck, like being able to draw 2 and then warp a card is just really strong. But obviously I haven't played the deck, so I don't really know. Right here I was hoping for another green card so I could play out Newfound Power this turn, because I want to be able to, once I realize next turn he could awaken, I really didn't want him to be at 6 life to awaken. Just normal turns, play 1, top 3. The reason I did leave the green up instead of tapping the green for the ready to fight is because in case I do draw another Newfound Power, I can play him out and swing for 15k critical. I do have some gameplay with the previous deck profile for that blue-green Piccolo. It's actually really strong. The only thing it really loses against is like the mirror match or just any other control deck, or I guess like super aggro like Baby, but that's what obviously side deck is for, and you can't win them all. Right here I get the Newfound Power, so I'm pretty excited I could play him out for 1, go down to 6. Still staying above him in life, which is good, so you don't have to worry about too much about him going too aggro. Even though it is a defensive deck, I don't know, he could have some spice in there. What I was really worried about though, the main reason I was trying to kill him so fast was, since he did play the 16, I thought maybe he was playing the Android 21 that you play out for 8, and then you just wipe the whole board, because I don't run any multicolor cards, so my whole board would get wiped and my energy. So I was a little scared on that, so I was trying to kill him as fast as possible, but I didn't want to over combo and then have no defense. I crit off his Frenzied Piccolo, which is, I know it's that card's actually really strong. Being able to rip, like, I think it rips 2 out of my hand. You can either get sent to the warp or under the extra card, which is really strong, especially playing him out for 3 with that Uiro card. Right here, I forget what I'm doing right here. I think I'm just deciding what to do. Just swinging in with all my attacks. I kind of wanted to extend my plays with the Unyielding, play out another ready to fight just to have him ready for next turn, but I didn't want him to get popped or anything like that with some effect. And I wanted to save up the 1 energy to play out the Vegeta, the Super Saiyan Blue one, the red tag team battle one. There he is right there. Because he's basically like Akaba's Awakening for 1 energy, but it's until your end of your next turn, and then you get to play him out on field. So basically, if they swing just 15 into 15 on one of your battle cards, or even 20 to 15 to try and kill him, you just go up to 21. That battle card's boosted up for your next attack, and then you have another threat on field. I'm just reading what all these cards do. Don't really know too much about them. So he is playing out what I assume is the main piece of the deck to reduce all the Frenzied Warriors by 1. I don't really have too much removal in this deck. I was thinking about playing out At All Costs, but then I didn't really know, because then I'd be taking 2 life, which I could have done. I could have probably defended a little more forward, so I can like go from 6 to 4 with him, which I probably should have done. But I wasn't at the 5 energy for his effect anyway, so I was fine with just taking some damage right here. I'm playing out the blocker that's actually really strong. It was a little worrying. I was trying to think of like any cards in my deck that could minus him or pop him. A good thing in this, for the Gohan deck actually, you could probably add like a Planet M2 or just another cheap minus card, because you do run some red cards with the burst attack and the tag team Vegeta. So you only need just 1 red down, and then you can start minusing by 5, just the little threats, because since Gohan does like to combo a lot, you don't really like your opponent having a lot of little 5Ks on the field to combo with too. So it's actually really strong, and then going for game, minusing them by 5. Just that extra boost you need. He awakens right here, which I'm okay with. He was at 4 life, so it was just like a normal awaken for him, instead of him awakening above 4 life and then him having the advantage and making it harder for me to actually attack him. He plays out a second one for 1 energy, which is really strong. Was pretty worried about those blockers, since you do basically have to swing into them twice to kill them, because you just swing into them once and he does the top deck into the Uiro. He just stays on field, so my goal was to try and attack him as much as possible. I do take the life to go to 5 right here, because I'm just going to keep the newfound power alive so I can get an extra critical swing and go in for 15k. He goes back up to 4 right here, and I don't really know what he was going to play, but I just took it anyways. I'm still at 5. I have 4 negates, super combo. I also took it to 5, so my super combo could become active in case I really needed it this turn, which I wasn't really worried, but just in case. And then here he plays out the Frenzied Warrior Piccolo, the really strong one with Deflect, Bond 3, to make me pitch 2 cards and place it under him. So I don't really know. At this point, once I saw I was at 5, and I was able to leave the newfound on field, I was just going to pitch the At All Cost, and I think I give up one of the Roshi, since I do have 3 of them in hand. Or I might give up the Unyielding, actually. I don't really remember. Yeah, I do give up that, because I knew I wanted to go pretty aggressive next turn, so I wanted to keep the Unyielding, because I was going to try and take out most of his field, or just go straight for his life, because he was going to obviously use those blockers. Piccolo, actually really strong. You can play him, maybe, with like other decks, like the 3-drop Piccolo, to play out like him for 4 and the next turn. I don't know. He seems to really only work in that deck, but his effect is just really cool to make them warp too. He does take me down to 4 life. I could have Roshi negated, but I don't know. I just took it. More cards to see, because because I didn't really want to charge any of the cards I had. But see, then I pulled the burst attack, just charge it. I knew my hand was sitting pretty well, especially after this awakening turn. It was going to be pretty strong, so I wasn't worried too much about it. I'm going to swing in, or activate ready to fight first. I wish there was maybe another searcher for this deck, maybe like a top 5 or something. It could make the deck a little stronger. I don't feel like it would be too much of a boost, but just the extra looking at the top 2 cards, because sometimes you can whiff if you see too many negates in this. But this build particular, I run a lot of Universe 7 for the 5-drop Master Ultra Instinct Goku. So I'm just swinging into his leader. I wasn't too stressed out about the Piccolo. I just wanted to get the blockers out of the way as fast as possible. I shouldn't have comboed with him right here, but I just wanted to see the extra cards as fast as possible. I do draw the 2, do get the Double Strike Kai. I kind of want to add another Double Strike Kai, or I don't really know, because you do need the 9 and the drop for the Master Ultra Instinct Goku, but sometimes like against decks with a lot of blockers, he's not very useful. So maybe as like a side deck, you can just take him out and add in some Overwhelm. So he does his effect with it, places the Sensu Bean under, and the blocker stays alive. I'm just going to play one out for Roshi. And I'm just going to swing at that blocker right there. I'm going to try and pop it. Right here, he probably could have blocked with the other one too, and then kept it alive. But he actually doesn't. And then I'm just going to combo the Roshi after I awaken. Untap the 2, go back up to 4, and then the auto effect goes off again for the leader since I'm awakened. Draw 2 more, and I do end up pulling the Cunning Strategist Piccolo, which is actually what I really was trying to find in order to play out the 4-drop Piccolo. I was just trying to build a huge field on him because best of ones, I'm assuming he doesn't run Kami, so. And even in sideboards, not a lot of people are running Kami anymore. Most people are going pretty tall with Heartfelt Plea and like this old school green Broly, the starter deck one. So I was pretty safe playing him out for 3 and building up the board. And even if he did play Kami, he'd have to wipe out his own field. So this deck's not really affected by it. The one thing, though, is the Uiro can take away a skill. So he can take away the barrier from the Piccolo and then kill him, which I was worried about, but maybe I was hoping he would swing first so I could pop a card with his effect. I'm just trying to pressure as much as possible right now. Really trying to get rid of some of his field presence. Because I know even if he just takes the life in general, him getting down to 3, the Master Ultra Instinct Goku's ready to go off, and then that way I just have to kill the blockers. Using the blocker effect again to pop or place it in the drop. So he's not. You need 17 for you to win the game, and he's only at 4. And we're both on I'm on our 4th turn. He's about to go on his 4th. So I realized that doesn't really ramp up too fast. I do swing in with the newfound power on the blocker again. I do use Unyielding to untap 2, and then I do super combo. I really want to make sure it's dead, and then I didn't know if he had a super combo or something he was willing to use. Debating if I want to use the Sensu Bean or not to tap up to 3 just so I have all my energy up, but I take it back. I'm pretty confident that the blocker will die. Right here I should have swung in with the Piccolo also, the 4-drop, just because he can easily kill it next turn just by discarding and paying 2. So I should have swung into his Piccolo, but I don't know what I was thinking. I just pass after this. Yeah, I even start the attack and then I take it back, but It's okay. What I'm really looking forward to, or just hoping in the future, since they are doing so many dual color leaders, is putting out like a blue-yellow Bardock crew leader, like a Bardock leader, because I really actually enjoy that deck. I started to try and play it recently. It's actually really fun, but if they could make it a blue-yellow leader for him and combine the two sets of them, so you can play the Raiders War Cry, and then you can play some of the what's it called, the 7-drop yellow Bardock. That'd be, I don't feel like it'd be too overpowered, but it would make the deck more competitive, which, I don't know. Bardock's probably one of my favorite characters, so that's probably why I'm a little biased towards it. Yeah, he's got to use his effect and take away the barrier from my Piccolo. He just has to discard one, though, so I'm not too mad about it. Him discarding and paying 2 energy, I don't know. It's a pretty even trade since I only technically paid 3 to get him out. Just rereading it, make sure that's what happens. Yep, he's at 4. A good thing, though, this deck, even though Zeno will get... once Zeno button does get banned, I feel like the Universe 7 can become a little more competitive just because there'll be less ways to switch your energy to active, and then your opponents has to more susceptible to getting aggroed out. Obviously, they can just pass with all energy up, but then they're kind of wasting their turn, and then you just being aggro, you can just push through and try and make them burn up as much cards in their hand. So now he starts swinging. I thought he was going to swing right from my board, but he actually just goes to my leader, which I'm okay with. I'm just going to use my Android 18 to go up to 25. But I see he starts comboing up, and then even then I was just going to Sensu Bean. But I didn't really know why he wanted me to go down to 3 so much, even though I did have a bigger hand size than him. I didn't really know why he did that, but he does go up to 30, so I'm just going to out-combo that. Don't really want to drop down to 3. Get another attacker on field 2, and then super comboing for go up to 35. Even the super combo in this deck is really strong. I know there's not really a good super combo for the deck except this one, but there's been times you just play him out for 2, the super combo itself, swing with leader and combo with it, and then you draw 3, which is actually pretty strong. Now that I comboed with the 18, my field's pretty big. He's used up 2 his energy. I'm feeling pretty safe. I'm thinking next game maybe I could go in for game. And then right here he taps out for another Piccolo. I don't really know why he tapped out for it. Maybe he thought he could rip out enough cards in my hand, but I'm still at 8 cards in hand. So me going down to 6, I still have more than him, and I still have a whole field. I get away one of the tag team Piccolos or Vegetas, just because I have a second one, and you can only play 1 out, and then I give up a Sensu Bean. Probably should have done a Dimension Magic, but I wanted to make sure in case I couldn't kill him next turn, I could live. So now I was waiting to see what he does. So now he starts swinging into my field, which I'm happy about. I was going to Dimension Magic and stand up 2 to see if he's swinging with the second Piccolo, which I probably should have done, but I did have another super combo, so I felt pretty safe. I'm going to play him out for 1 during my combo step for Activate Battle, and then boost up that 18 up to 21k until I pass my next turn. This Vegeta is really strong for this deck. I don't know. The Kaba obviously doesn't really work with this deck just because, first, you don't really like too much red since you are mainly playing out green and blue battle cards, and then you don't really need him for the Vegeta. So now seeing, he just passes right after that. which is okay. I get to keep my super combo. I do pull another 18, but just gonna play her out. I was still pretty worried I wasn't gonna be able to kill this turn, so that's why I just leave all my negates in hand. Yeah, I gotta play out the Roshi for 1, and then I'm gonna swing into his Piccolo field card. Even though I was up 1K, I wanted to make sure he was dead. I comboed it, draw 2. I do pull some good cards. And then here I just play out 4 for flat, because I do have the 1 green up for Newfound. I just play him out for 4, so his effect's still up. And I can pop. I should have popped the actual Uiro card right here, but as you see, I popped his other Piccolo. I just didn't really want to get aggroed, so I do pop him. Okay, I'm gonna draw 1 for Piccolo. Draw another super combo, so now is when I'm thinking I could probably go for game. I got five potential attacks. I was just hoping to drop him down to maybe like 2 life or something. But yeah, Piccolo does draw off his effect if you guys didn't know, but I'm assuming most of you guys know. Maybe you just forgot. But with the leader swing, he does take it, go down to 3, so I was still waiting for it for a second, but he does go down to 3, which made me think he had a bunch of 1Ks in his hand maybe, so this is where I'm going to start going in with the Newfound Power. I'm going to take a life. I do get a Sensu Bean. Wish it was the Unyielding I used earlier, so I could double strike Kayam, but I'm going to go up to 25k. That way he has to use a super combo and something else, so he's still technically minusing a card. And then yeah, he just crits it away. So now I'm really determined to go for game. I'm going to swing in with this Piccolo first, and then the Vegeta, because once I swing in with 18, I can combo out all those 5Ks in rest mode, since Gohan's effect I can combo with Universe 7 in rest mode. I'm going to go up to 25. Waiting to see what he does. Yeah, then he goes down to 1, and yeah, I got 3 attacks left. I'm pretty sure I had game. He couldn't use any like burn a life negates. And then yeah, right here is when he just resets it. So I hope you guys did enjoy this match. I know this wasn't really meta decks, but if you guys do want to see meta decks or just a Piccolo one, leave in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.